bring 'em out, bring 'em out, bring 'em out, bring 'em out.
Ladies and gentlemen, get ready for Bring 'em Out with your hosts, Joel Richardson and Alan Hill.
Hey everybody, we're here at the SunnyBrook Ballroom inside Joel's office this time.
The office I don't use.
Storage office.
Yeah.
For another episode of Bring 'em Out. I'm Alan Hill, here with Soul Joel himself, Joel Richardson. Today we have a very special guest, a guy who's been kicking ass on Tuesday nights and taking names, DJ Dan.
Hey guys,
What's up, brother?
I appreciate the invite.
Yeah.
Good to have you, man.
It's long overdue. We already celebrated a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've been trying to get on his busy schedule.
It's tough, dude. He's in demand.
Yeah.
We've been talking about this for a while. I don't know if Joel told you or not, but we have been talking about doing this for a while.
I heard a rumor.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. We're trying to double dutch. I'm like,
boy.
I was like,
That's one.
one. He wants to see how many times I can say, oh boy.
Yeah.
So
Make it a drinking game, people.
yeah,
Take
exactly.
a shot.
Oh boy. But I was like, this day, and this day. He goes, no good, no good, no good. So I'm like, you know what? I can only ask him to dance so many times. No pun intended. Before I'm like,
It was intended.
It was intended. Okay, all right.
Let's be real.
Yeah.
It was.
But so he calls me up this week and said, let's do it. And so we finally made it happen. But I have to tell him. So our friend Lori, mutual friend Lori, I want to break down the fourth wall.
Okay.
So when we were planning on taking over SunnyBrook, we're waiting for the loan to go through and the liquor license. I'm like, we got to get this started because the ballroom's beautiful. Mm-hmm. So I call up Lori. Lori's a person that has been coming to my shows for years, but loves line dancing like I love comedy.
Okay.
And you guys dated.
Did not.
And that's what she told us. She told me that you went out.
Oh, okay. All right.
All right. Hey, welcome to the show, buddy.
Yeah. Welcome to the
You got
show.
any other Joel Dirt? Let's go.
Yeah.
It's still early, Alan. Let's get into this.
His name is DJ Dan, but he's acting like DJ Bob. All right. So, all right. So,
So they had a date.
yeah. So here.
Oh, boy.
Here's the thing. So, number 3. We're at 3. Yeah, 44 more minutes. We'll get through this. So I go, who do you go? Because she line dances so many times a week, and she said that you got to call up DJ Dan. So our first conversation, he goes, "It's great, man. Let's make it happen. I'd love to do it Tuesday night." I'm like, "Man, that's my open mic night." I hang up the phone. I'm like, "What am I doing? Who gives a rip?"
Right.
I call him up. I'm like, "Let's try Tuesday." He's like, "All right." He was happy walking away, and I'm like, "What am I doing?"
You got 20 people in the Melody Room on a Tuesday night. And you don't want to have a packed hall.
Yeah.
So how it went down was actually he was like, "Hey man, I got Wednesday nights available because this is pre-bingo, way before." And he's like, "Hey man, let's do Wednesday nights." And I said, "Listen, I can't." I said, "I just booked an every Wednesday event."
Mm-hmm.
I said, and I just can't do it.
Yeah.
I said, I have Tuesdays available, and you're like, I can't do it, blah, 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 open mic. And I'm like, all right. I said, well, let me know if something else comes up, because my Fridays were busy, and everything. He's busy with all kinds
that's
of
right.
events.
I had mentioned Wednesdays. Right.
And I was like, yeah, I can't do it. And I said, well, listen, you got my number now. I was like, think it over.
Mm-hmm.
Give me a call back, whatever. Yeah. All right. So I literally put down my phone, and I walked through my dining room to the kitchen, grabbed the Pepsi out of the fridge. By the time I walked back to the living room, Joel's on there going, and he goes, you know what, dude? Let's do it.
Yeah.
That was it. That was the entire booking of DJ Dan Line Dance.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys have ever done like when I was in pharmaceutical sales. I used to do a self-assessment. I'm a reactor.
Yeah.
So I reacted, and then it was like 30 seconds. I just thought about it. Light bulb hit in. I go, what the heck, man?
The Soul Joel super processor kicked in.
Yeah. Now it's been a combination of my marketing, his not only marketing, but he's a DJ, and very rare. He DJs and he teaches.
Oh, right.
A lot of
yeah.
times that's two separate people, but he does it himself. So he's a triple threat: markets, DJs, and teaches, and the ballroom. But now what I quickly learned, and he's helped me along the way, was it's the complete opposite of comedy. Comedy is 10% walk-ins.
Oh, right. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm with you.
90% in advance.
Mm-hmm.
So the morning of, I thought it was going to be the three of us.
Yeah.
A couple other people walking in, and that's it.
Yeah, because you're like, oh, we got to do advanced ticket sales, and I said, nah, that's not how it goes, dude. He goes, what do you mean? And I said, we don't do advanced tickets really, except for like the workshops. Which is another thing.
When it's limited, limited availability.
And I was like, no, I said, dude, it's like some people might purchase, advance, but they don't really do that because it's all at the door kind of things.
Okay.
So you never know whether it's going to be 30 or 300. You just never know any week. So,
Yeah, exactly. So the morning of, we had like 5. Then all of a sudden, 75 walk in.
Woo.
We end up with 80 people, and I'm like, yeah, exactly. Yeah, Woo was right because I thought it was going to be a bust.
Right.
Yeah. And he was like, dude, if we get like 40, 50 people, that'd be okay for the first week. And I'm like, all right.
Yeah. First week blew it out of the water with 80
Amazing.
people, but it was
That's amazing.
70 women, 10 guys. Yeah.
That's
And
about right.
2 of the guys, one drove from Hamburg, one drove from Ben Salem. So it was an
Hamburg Joe.
hour each. Yeah.
Oh.
Yep.
You know Hamburg
I
Joe's?
don't, but I like his
He's
name.
he's another beard guy, so I figured you would know.
Okay. Well,
Yeah,
we
same
do know all
circles.
that. I'll talk to him in the next meeting.
Yeah.
Beards Anonymous. That's BA.
They call them RBMs, real bearded men.
Bearded men on purpose.
Yeah, exactly. This is all new. This is all new for me. I'm just a couple years
I
in.
shave for this guy.
Yeah.
What's going on here?
Yeah. But
That's great.
but they come up to me and they're like, they didn't come up to me like, look at all these women. They were like, this dance floor is amazing.
Amazing. Yep.
Yeah, and that's where I realized, I go, oh, this dance floor is special.
Right.
Yeah.
And just like to tell Joel, I tell every single place we go to, I said, there's 2 things you need to worry about: how good the floor is, and keep the air on, bro.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't matter.
They're
If you
gonna
walk
get-
in
they're
and
gonna
it's
be
like,
sweating,
It's
huh?
like a 70-degree day, and you're like, oh yeah, I feel great. Once you start getting around and jumping and doing whatever, you're sweating like a whore in church.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Can I say that?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we're good. No, we're good.
The bar
Yeah.
is
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're clear here on this
Yeah,
one.
clear. Yeah.
I just want to keep pushing the envelope.
Oh,
That's
no.
what- That's what DJ Dave
But
does.
even without
right?
Totally, man.
diddly
On brand for DJ
diddly
Dave.
Dan. Yeah.
Every week they're like, and I'm like, it's fine. I have the mic. It's okay.
Yeah. It's on. I'm speaking. These are my
It's
thoughts.
fine.
Yeah. Oh gosh, what was I gonna say? Oh, not only just the air, but also we realized quickly it's the fans. It's
Yeah.
circulating that air. So you can't just
okay.
have like the air on,
I mean,
but
you're
like make
talking,
sure you're
what is it, 12,000 square feet down there
Yeah,
in the ballroom or
yeah,
whatever, or over
yeah.
12,000 square feet?
Yep.
And trying to set it, like you said, there's only so much you can do to cool that area
Yeah.
down.
Yeah.
Especially when you have all those windows and the sunlight coming in. And
you're
I think
only
our
charging
people-
$10 a head.
Well, which is
Yeah.
good.
Well, no, but I'm saying like the air conditioning bill.
defray the
Yeah. So
Because some people will remain nameless. They're like, I want that air on 65. I go, it's 105 outside. I go, do you know how much? I don't know, I'm being like exaggerating, but even it's at 95. Do you know how much you have to have that running to lower it to 65?
Yeah, man.
yeah, but once again, it just comes down to those windows because if the sun's out, it's just gonna bake
Bake.
Right.
that
Yeah.
area. You
Right.
know, if
Yeah.
you didn't have any windows,
Yeah.
if it was like in the middle of the complex, the
Yeah. Yeah.
building, then it would be easier to cool down.
Totally, man. Totally.
But you have all that
100%.
heat coming in. It's
Yep.
like we don't have blackout windows like Alan does in his bedroom.
Right.
I mean, like,
Which I don't know how he knew that, but when your first cup of coffee is at 2:00, I never even thought about it. You probably do have blackout
I
windows.
got pretty heavy curtains.
Yeah.
he's like, I'm gonna hit the Walmart on the way home. I need to get new ones. I don't know.
He's a DJ. He also teaches, and he's a mind reader.
And funny sometimes.
Yeah.
He can obviously assess a situation pretty handily.
I didn't. Yeah, exactly. I didn't mean to insult him by saying triple threat. He's got a couple more in the
dude,
chamber.
That's limiting.
Yeah. But one thing that I always tell people, because even last night it came up, actually at the drag show, a lady came up to me and was like, how's the line dancing? Is everybody an expert? Because they just realized that everybody comes out. There's some people that came out fresh here, but they've been coming every week now for a year. They're now the experts.
Right. Yeah.
And-
it doesn't take long really, and the one thing I'll tell everyone is that it's really about what you put into it, and you'll get it. Music.
Oh,
Guitars,
totally, man.
Right.
Totally.
You know, there's people who have been playing guitar for 10 years, and then there's people who have been playing guitar for 10 years.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like.
Proactive
Yeah,
and
seriously.
steady,
If you actually
consistent.
Right.
put into it, and and there are people I know who you're talking about, and there's a few of those where like they were brand new, like a couple months in, and they didn't know anything. And they just went home and they just kept practicing and went to my websites and,
Yeah.
and everything like that and started practicing the dances. And they're like, oh, I love this one and I saw this one and I like that one. And then Alan danced to this one and I love that one and whatever else. You know, and they just go there and they just keep practicing and doing that thing. You know, it's like, hey, that's on you.
Yeah.
I like to think myself as a great instructor.
Right.
Because I add a lot of comedy into it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So to make it more fun.
Right.
I said at the end of the day, I was like, if I've only seen you once a week and I'm telling you how to do, you know, these boots is one of the newer dances I taught, easy one. You know what I mean? You go home and you might not hear that song on the radio, you know?
Right.
And it's just like, all right, cool, whatever. So you play it and you might dance it, but if you don't do it and practice it,
You're not
like,
gonna learn it.
you're not
Out of
gonna
sight,
learn
out
it.
of mind.
Yeah, you're
Yeah, man.
not going to learn the solo for Sweet Child of Mine if you never actually pick up your guitar.
Right.
Yeah.
You can be shown it.
Yeah.
But
Well,
if you don't pick
can
it up
read
and
the-
use your
you can read
fingers.
the tab and whatever it is, you know, the musicians out there get that, but it's like if you don't actually do it,
Yeah.
you're not going to learn it. If you come just
Exactly
once
right.
a week or every other week,
Right.
you know, and you're like, oh yeah, I did this dance 3 weeks ago when I was here, and I'm like, did you practice it? I'll play it for you, and if anyone else remembers it, we'll do it again, you know.
Yes.
And they're like, oh well, no, I just thought that you teach it again, and I said no. I said I taught those dances 2 weeks in a row, you know. I said then you have to kind of either tell me, hey, listen, I like this, let's keep doing it, or you need to go home and practice it. So you would learn it yourself. And
Exactly,
keep doing
man.
it,
No,
you know
that's
what I
it. That's it.
mean? Yeah.
Right. But I also tell people that you've cultivated a friendly environment where there's a lot of, I know at least Teddy, there's people that are former instructors, but whether they are or they're not, and they're experienced, they're also very friendly and they're willing to help out. Because we have brand new people each and every week.
Every week.
Some people that come every week, some people that are first timers every week, and then there's people that come a couple times a month or whenever they can. But that culmination, you know, we've built over 100 people to 200 people each and every week, which
That's
is
super
amazing
cool.
for a Tuesday.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
It really is.
So it's actually one of the things that Joel says every single week. He's like, he walks up and he's like, dude, saw some people I've never seen before. I said, I know, man.
Yeah.
I had no idea who they were.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
You know what I mean? And I do the best I can to actually get out and talk to them, hand a card, da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
Keep promoting to the next step.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And
yeah.
it's like, listen, and I always tell people, and like I would tell any new person, I said, listen, I get it. You're walking in, you're seeing 100 people dancing 80% of the dances, and you're like,
Whoa.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Right.
What do I do?
Yeah, what do I do? Like, I seem overwhelmed. And I've gotten emails and messages from people who are new, and they're like, oh, you know, after lessons was over, you know, I really felt like overwhelmed, or I just felt like a fish out of water, and we just felt out of place. We didn't know what to do. And I said, yeah, I said, the thing is, just like starting anything new. I said,
Yeah.
cooking, and I use a lot of cooking references when I talk about line dancing. But,
You're not losing us.
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, and it's like, and I always tell
Solid
people,
pod
I'm
for
like-
those references.
And I'm like, listen, when you first started to learn to cook, you couldn't make a lobster risotto, right?
Or now.
He's like, I order it on DoorDash.
Yeah.
Grilled cheese and
Yeah,
spaghetti.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's just what it is. Like, you have to start. I get all the ingredients are there, right? And it's just about making something else and then something else. And that's just like dancing. There's really only, and like we'll talk about later, but like line dancing is one of the hardest things to do. you
Right.
know? So compared to all the ballroom dancing.
You opened my eyes to that.
Right.
Because there's what,
And
45 different moves?
About 55.
55.
About 55 to 60 different line dance steps.
Dang.
Steps.
So that you would once again like a recipe that you would use in a different order in a different place all the time in different timing, you know, syncopation and whatnot.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
understand that,
absolutely.
You know, and because like realistically, a scale has 7 to 11 depending on if you use the flats or sharps. You know what I mean? So you don't really have that many options to use on a guitar, right?
Right. Well, there's
But
only 12
it's
notes in
time-
music.
Yeah, it's timing and it's
Right.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah, exactly. And
it's the same thing.
songs have not stopped being written with those 12 notes
Right,
throughout
and-
centuries.
And the thing is, like, the songs come out. The new songs come out by Jelly Roll or whoever it is,
Jelly
right?
Roll.
Those songs get. I like Jelly Roll, but so those songs come out, right? And then a choreographer who lives in New Jersey or Belgium or whatever it is says, "Oh, I like this song. I'm going to create a dance for it." Now we have a dance.
That's cool.
Every song has a dance. We end up teaching.
And
not,
being
not
in
every
the-
dance, but
Being in the internet era is pretty cool for that too, huh?
right. And it's like I tell people, I said, the one that I use is an international line dance site, which has hundreds of thousands of dances. And about a month or two ago, they just posted their 500,000th dance. Over 500,000 line dances.
That's
are on this
incredible.
site.
That's incredible.
Now, in any given night, in the 4 hours that I'm here, even if I didn't do lessons, realistically, you're only looking at playing 70-ish songs.
Right.
At a 500,000.
Do the math.
Like,
Right.
Yeah, you got a lot of time in
and that's
front
if
of
I
you.
did
Right.
do lessons.
Right.
And that's if I didn't
It's a
do
balancing
lessons.
act.
But
Yeah.
that half hour in the beginning is 2 beginner lessons. Then I usually do 1 a little bit later on.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's 3 really. So you can say about an hour-ish you're missing out on.
Okay.
So now that 4 hours goes down to 3 hours.
Right.
You know. So
But
then you're
we've
doing less.
also I've realized that recently we've adapted like anything else, where we started from 7 to 10.
Yep.
Then you got those emails, so I'm like, there's so many new people, we have to have beginners. So we started 6:30 to 7, and he still does 2 other dances. So between 6:30 and 8, he's doing 3 new dances, 1 beginner, 2 other dances. So 3 new
Well,
ones.
two beginner and then 1
Okay.
one more advanced.
Yeah, I flipped.
But yeah.
But the whole thing's going from until 10 o'clock. Then there was so many people that wanted to hear more songs.
Right.
So then we added an extra half hour.
So we go to
Okay.
6:30 to 10:30.
6:30 to 10:30. But I describe people, not to say it's a scam, but it's like a pyramid. Like and it keeps getting harder as the night goes on, and there's less and less dancers. But each week there's more and more dancers that join them
Can get to those
to the
levels.
top. Yeah,
That's
and it's really cool to watch.
That is cool.
And they get requests, but it's hard to please everyone because you only have so much time and so many different songs.
Yeah.
I love that. As a guitar
Yeah.
teacher, I could really dig the ability to get people to that. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? That's really cool.
So what's even more interesting is that we go back to that first week, and even though there were a number of people that knew me from the company I used to work for, because I did line dancing for someone else before I ended up starting my own.
Before you
Oh.
spread your wings.
Yeah, but
And we'll get into a couple of the heavy hitting questions.
Yeah. Before I decided, you know what? Let me try this thing out on my own and see
Yeah.
what happens.
Right.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, why did I do this? But in all joking, of course, it really just when you just flipped it and it was just everything was there. You know what I mean? It was like oh my gosh. It's like, oh yeah, you have a nice little rock. Oh, okay, cool. You move the rock and it's like, oh my gosh, there's all these worms. You know,
Yeah.
it's like you flipped over.
Yeah,
and
don't
just
freak out.
Yeah, you're like there and it's like all of a sudden you're getting these emails and messages and oh, I know this guy named Joel and I know this guy has a place here and this guy has a place and he wants to do line dancing and I'm like,
And you're filling up
I'm
your schedule.
one dude.
Right.
Yeah.
And I want a day on the weekend off, so I had Sundays off, and I need a weekday off so I can see my kids.
Right.
So I took Thursdays off, and
And-
so I was working Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, every single week, 5 events a week, every week.
And you have
for
to
months.
choose. I'm sure you have choices here, and you're trying to find the best people to work with too.
Well, yes, that's also true, but and I've actually turned things down.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So it's
But you're pretty strict on not working Sunday, and if someone wants to
Yes.
work Sunday, you're like, well, there's a price.
It's like Joel's Monday.
exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so like my
My
line
man.
dance events is like a certain like a $10 cover kind of thing, and
Yeah.
I only charge a certain amount. Doesn't matter if you get 30 or 300, that whole spiel, or 20 or 200. I'm like, listen, this is what I'm going to charge you for me to come in here, teach lessons, music, speakers, the whole deal. I
Yep.
was like, you're going to get this. I was like, so we keep building it up. You're still paying me the same.
Yep.
I'm not that guy that's going to be like, oh, well, you're doing better, so I should be doing better. You need to give me more.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I'm doing for you. No,
Yeah.
I'm doing for me from the get-go.
Yeah. This
Right.
is my rate.
This is me. What is what I do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of like saying if like one of your part-time cooks came up and said, "Oh, well, I see the restaurant's busier. You got to pay me $27 an hour now for me to put fries in a fryer." No, I don't. Like I pay you for what you're worth.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's what your job
you
is.
continue
Whether or
to
not
do
you
your
make
job.
1
Yeah,
order of fries
right.
Or you make 20 orders of fries. That's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, man.
What
Right.
I'm supposed to do is entertain, bring people out, teach them enough to where they want to keep coming out.
Right.
Like that's what it really comes
Yeah,
down
man.
to.
Absolutely.
But
Absolutely.
you can't just walk in and think all of a sudden I'm going to learn stuff.
Yeah.
And I think where the
Mindset.
the mindset of the vision of what people think line dancing is just a bunch of dumb country hicks coming out, kicking their boots around, and anybody can do it.
Well, it's funny because you blew that up in my mind because the last time I saw line dancing was when what was the Lone Star restaurant chain used to, which I don't even know if it's still around anymore, but it was big in the 90s. And
They got rid of the peanuts on the floor.
That's where they would throw
They
peanuts
had
on the
to.
floor,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
they would have some very stiff-hipped country folks doing line dancing. And I walk into your room, and it's a whole different thing, man. Like it's cool stuff. Like I was like, whoa, I can't believe how cool this is.
And that's right around the time where we got rid of country line. That's how the Flyers used to say. But because he has Ed Sheeran, Shivers, and all these other songs, he just wants to be called line dancing because then it pigeonholes the people in their mind, their mindset of what songs you're going to hear.
Yeah.
But he does it to so many different songs. It's just called line dancing, not just country.
So tell them the story of the lady who.
I'm not prepared to speak.
No, Joel needs to tell this story about the lady who called you and said,
Yes.
Is it country? Remember that lady that called up?
But I'm blanking.
So this lady calls up one time, wanted to come out for Tuesday night line dancing.
Yes.
Right? And it says line dancing with DJ Dan. It
Yeah.
doesn't say country line dancing. It doesn't say pop, rock, Motown, oldies, which are all other genres of line dancing things they do. Mm-hmm. See, for me, I just play all this stuff.
I'm normally better than this. I don't remember this. Just keep talking.
I love it. I love it.
He's like, Dan, keep talking. Cause
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not really sure
Did
what you're doing."
Joel date this woman?
No, not that I know of. So she ends up calling and talking to somebody, right?
Yes.
And he could have. And so, sorry, Mom.
I'm just here
Joel's
for you.
He's like, I told Dan to come with stories. I didn't know he was going to come stories about
Yeah.
me.
My mom just fell off the treadmill.
This is very exciting. This is like the Al Capone vault being opened.
Yeah.
I think Alan's going to say, Dan, you're on every week. Okay? You're another host. I'm busy. I can't.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves, but yes.
If Joel's sick,
Yeah.
I'll be filling you guys.
Yeah.
So anyway, she calls up and she says, listen, she goes, I want to come out to the line dancing, but I'm not going to come out if it's country.
Oh, interesting.
And so Joel said, it's not all country, but there is country music that is played.
Oh yes. Now, yeah.
Do you want to take this over
No.
now?
Because now it's sounding familiar.
Doesn't remember it that well.
But yeah.
Go ahead, say it.
Call an audible.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Keep the baton over there.
Yes.
So,
You're doing good.
So then she ends up coming out, and I'm sitting, and so some days when I'll come up and sit at the table with Joel.
Yeah.
And greet everyone.
The
as they come
check-in, yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, and just I'm like, hey guys, how you doing? And we're talking about a future event or whatever it is.
Right. I'm
You
like
know,
celebrity
people come in.
sighting.
Yeah.
So I'm just talking and everything, and this lady comes in and she walks in and I said, hey, how you doing? And she sees everyone else with the jeans and the boots and the.
Oh, she's
flannel
like, oh, it's a
shirts
country fest.
and whatever.
These.
So she goes, this isn't country, is it? In that tone, and I looked at her and I go, it is country music that is being played, but it is not all country music, and that's guaranteed for every single one of my nights.
Yeah.
And I was like, and she's like, well, I called and they told me that you were not going to play country music for this.
Oh my goodness.
And I'm sitting next to Joel, and his and you know the blank Joel stare that happens sometimes. He's like,
Eyebrows up.
Yeah, he's like,
Yeah.
And I look at him and I was like, well, who'd you talk to? She goes, I don't know, some guy that runs the place. And I said, and so Joel goes, he's like, no, I didn't. I said what he said. Like, I didn't tell you that it was going to be all country.
Yeah.
And I didn't tell you that it was not going to be country.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, man.
you know.
Right. That is funny. Yeah. The people
Right.
twist your words.
Right.
And then she's like, I don't know. And I said, well, I do. Like I said, I do play some non-country stuff, but there is going to be country music played because unfortunately, no matter how far we go into the future, line dancing and country music are on the same plate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, they're going to be
You know what I mean?
Like
related
Alan
to
and
each
those
other.
Eagles jerseys.
Yeah,
It's true.
totally,
It's
man.
true.
Yeah.
I'm not sure which one's older, actually.
Yeah.
Debatable.
Hey, well, speaking of that, we got to go right into the because I don't want to keep him waiting any longer. He's worried about the questions you're going to ask
I'm
him.
definitely not worried.
No, this guy doesn't seem he's going to be fazed by anything I ask.
Yeah. DJ Dan, your words, not mine.
Yeah. So then to end the story real quick, she was like, well, what about the lessons you're teaching? And I said, well, 2 of them are country songs and 1 isn't.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, I don't know about this. And I said, okay, well, it's a $10 cover if you want to stay and try it out. I was like, if not, maybe come another time.
Yeah.
It's
She
$10.
goes- And she goes, yeah, I don't think so. And then she left because she was that hardcore to not be hearing country music.
Dude,
Yeah.
open your mind.
You know?
Well, dude, and there's
and I get it. If you're like really hating on country music, and in her mind, she's probably thinking of like Lefty Frizzell, George Strait, old school country. But let's be realistic. Since the Taylor Swift era, the Shania era has happened, country music is totally different.
Oh, completely.
You know, because like Crispy Chicken, like the Breland.
Yeah.
There's the Lord song. Like that's country in theory, but
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
not. It doesn't sound like country at all. It's pop.
No. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. There's country acts that are rapping now, too. There's
Right.
that kind of thing.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
I mean,
like
it's a
Sunroof.
whole...
Sunroof, you hear it at Wawa every time you pump gas.
It's a brave new
Sunroof
world.
is a country song.
Yeah. That number 1 song last year, what was that? Little Nas X something
Yeah,
or
that wasn't last year, but yeah.
Yeah.
2014.
Yeah. Well, it could be. Maybe 19. You're not that old, Joel.
Oh, boy.
Oh boy is right.
Yeah, so that's a thing that happens.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
and I can,
and then some people
get that
who
kind
love
of
country music, like our regulars that come out, they're like, "Oh, I saw you doing this place. Is that country line dancing? It's line dancing.
Yeah.
It's not country line
Right.
dancing."
Did you notice that every song tonight wasn't country?
Yeah,
when I learned that it wasn't country, totally was when we were. I don't remember. We were in the restaurant, and it was Tuesday. It was a Tuesday.
and you just heard me blaring the music.
No. It was somebody. A group of them came out. I don't know if it had ended. I don't remember the circumstance exactly. But DJ Bob was playing in the restaurant, and he played some song that wasn't country.
Because he was
not even
doing
close.
quiz night, right?
Maybe.
Yeah.
It was before. It was well before that.
Oh.
It was. I think just he was. It was one of DJ Bob's. It was when he was over in where the musicians play at one point. We were trying stuff out.
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
what I mean?
Gatsby's, right? He was in the
Yes.
corner there playing music.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
And a group of your people came out, like 6 or 8 of them. He put on some song. I don't know. It was some kind of DJ Bob song. You know what I mean? That sounds like a dance club song.
Techno.
Boom ta boom ta. Yeah. And they start and they're like doing their thing.
Coconut water's falling
Oh,
over.
it's lit.
Yeah. Oh,
But
gosh.
dude, they started doing
boy.
this dance whole thing to this song, and I was like, oh my god, that's cool. It was like, it's not just peanuts on the floor and
It's a
stiff hips
crossover,
anymore.
yeah. Well, and that's what I realized too. Probably around the same time that there was a bunch of people that come from swing dancing.
Yes.
And-
There's some crossover. Yeah.
Yeah, there's like they call it a country two-step, right?
Yeah.
And they dance swing dancing to the country songs, or to the line dance songs.
That's cool.
Yeah. Actually, some people call it country swing.
Okay.
And
Oh.
It's a little bit different. It's not quite the same cadence as a normal East Coast or West Coast swing. Since you're a dancer, you'll understand this.
For sure. I've been holding that in
But
reserve.
like country swing is just a little bit different. It's an
Yeah.
easier cadence to get in, and they just spin around, dip, toss, and all that fun stuff.
Oh, neat.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of things like that. But a country two-step is a really, really popular old school partner dance around the outside. Just old movies. That's really popular. A waltz is another really popular country one. It's a simple three.
I was
3/6 time,
I was
that.
forced to go to ballroom dancing in 7th and 8th grade, so I do know the waltz.
Yeah. And I was trying to impress with my knowledge, and I struck out. He's like, actually, country two-step is a couples dance, Joel. That the people that Alan's talking about were not doing.
Not the two-step that I taught you. That's a two-step line dance.
Oh boy.
I remember that
Check out
video.
that
I think.
video.
Yeah.
It's still circulating.
Yeah. So what's the first question? We had the Nick.
Oh, okay. So the first one is.
I gave him no hints.
I love it.
Cool.
Well, we have something in common. We both play guitar.
Yes.
And maybe other things too, but you said also a little pre-show thing that there might be some tracks out there that.
Yeah, I did. At one point, I did write and record some songs that I had fancy dreams of sending into a studio at some point.
We all had 'em, yeah.
You know what I mean? And so I have it keeping. It's not really out. It might be on YouTube, but I don't think it is. But I have like a little CD. That's like a disc that has music on it, guys.
Yeah, the Wayback Machine. Yeah, totally.
Not an MP3. Way before the MP3.
Yeah.
After the 8 tracks of Joel's era, you had these round things.
Yeah.
Sorry, dude. You
That-
invited me here. CDs, you know what I mean? So it's like, and it's actually back then. It was probably early 2000s, but I was actually, it's actually Christian rock. 'Cause I was,
right on.
I was into like a lot of stuff back then.
Yeah.
Adrenaline and Seether.
Oh, yeah.
Like, a lot of those things back then. So it's more or less like current rock solo with like great bass and drums and just, you know what I mean?
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah, I used to teach Switchfoot, I think was one
yeah,
or two,
Switchfoot,
right?
yeah.
I used to
Dare You to
teach.
Move, yeah.
I used to teach a lot of. I had a lot of kids that were into that stuff in the early 2000s, man. And
Yeah, 'cause it was like almost like the turn of like alternative, kind of like spread across the river to Christian radio and music.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? 'Cause, you know DC Talk back in the day.
Yeah, totally.
They kind of broke the fourth wall of Christian music.
Yes.
With the rap and the rock and the whatnot. And so at one point way back in the day, I actually started a company back then, which was a Christian-based DJ company.
Okay.
Did you find that?
That I
On
did
your
not
dirt?
find.
That was deep in the archives, huh?
deep.
Deep.
I love
cut.
it, man.
Back in,
Yeah.
02?
I guess we only scraped the surfaces. We have to have him back, despite our best wishes.
Part 2 is going to come up next month now.
I'm gonna have to do a real deep dive.
Oh, boy.
They're bringing some experts.
So the problem
Yeah.
with that is that it's on Google and stuff like that, and it was actually a company that I called Passion Entertainment, and the tagline was, "There would be no music without passion,"
Right on.
which is
I like
a
that.
double line,
That's 100%
obviously.
true, yeah.
Right, and so I was like, "Oh, this is great," and so of course, people were like, "Oh, I don't know if I want to hire you because we don't really want to Christian DJ. You know what I mean? So it was a very gray area.
It can open up doors and it can close doors.
So it really didn't really go well. And I was like, all right, whatever. So I kind of just stopped doing that for a while. And then years on later, I ended up working for another company, and then just eventually led into where I am today. So that's
very cool.
But I have been playing guitar probably for 25 years. And once again, like I said earlier, playing guitar, but when you're so busy, you don't really play guitar.
Right, exactly. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yes.
So back in the day, I did go to some open mics.
Very cool.
Which is very different than the open mic that we see here.
Oh yeah, I've told some open mic stories
right,
that they relate.
Music.
Yeah.
Back in the day when I did my open mics, I did. It was like a crappy, beer laden bar.
Yep.
Where it's like 99% guitars and music, and like you have a guy come in, it's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna say jokes, and we're all sitting there like.
Yeah, totally, dude.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's just,
we've all been there.
Sometimes not so different at comedy open mics.
Yeah. And I'm talking about me last Tuesday.
You're like, and that's why we went to the diner.
Yeah.
And then no one starts laughing. You're like,
could be your first time. Could be after 17 years.
So then you flip the script, and I said to Joel when I first started coming here, I was like, oh, open mic, that sounds really cool. And so I think that one time I was playing a song that was like 6 minutes long. So I could run over to the open mic, and I look in, and I'm like, I don't see any guitars or anything here.
Oh, yeah.
And you were like, oh, this isn't that kind of an open mic. He's like, not that you can't play music here, Dan.
Sure.
He's like, but it's like one of those, it's like, oh, that's not what, but you, yeah, you can, like one of those things.
Yeah, totally.
So it's like, we don't really get that kind of open mic here.
Yeah, it's the flip of what we're used to.
Because he's a comedian. He's, does the whole comedy club,
Yeah.
So the comedians are used to being here.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
So it's just totally different than what I thought in my head of being what open mic really is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because I mean, like you've been playing for a long time, right?
Yes.
So in your mind, you think, okay, I'm gonna go to an open mic, and hopefully there's someone there that might hear me, that might want to hire me to come to their blah blah blah, whatever it is.
Or I meet a good musician that I can jam
hook
with.
up with, and maybe join whatever it is.
Right.
But it's like, and maybe that's how comedy works in open mics. I don't really know if that's.
They're going to work out material in large part and also get a connection. You know what I mean?
Yeah, mostly work out the same material.
Right.
They should be doing new material, but oftentimes they don't. Or they go up there with no plan, which I'm like, I don't know how you do that every week.
I do that every week. What are you talking about?
No plan?
I have no material when I come to the line dance.
No, but you go up with a plan. New material.
It's different, though, because you actually can back it up.
That's what Joel said to me, actually. He's funny. He's like, dude, he's like, you have like an open mic every week, and you don't even realize it. Like,
yeah, man.
And it's just like, I'll just talk about anything. Like, I have nothing really. Sometimes, like if it's like Eagles, Phillies type stuff.
Sure.
Hometown crowd.
Birthdays, holidays, whatever.
And I'm like, oh yeah, or if I have an event coming up, something like that, and I'll lead it into something or whatever it is. But a lot of times, it's the new people that I meet that come out. And whatever, and I'm always like, hey, if you're new to line dancing, put your hand up, whatever it is, and I'm like, oh, cool, what's your name? Oh, you're Alan. Oh, hey, everybody say hi to Alan, whatever. And like, oh yeah, Alan, and then they're embarrassed, and it's a fun thing. We laugh, we joke, whatever it is.
Right. It brings everybody in.
Like
That's very cool. Very cool. It's a special skill to be able to work a room like that.
I try to.
Yeah.
I mean.
And then a nickname.
Oh, yep, that's where I was going next, bud.
Cool.
So I started, I rifle through everything looking for stuff, and I started noticing a lot of people kept calling you, and it didn't make sense to me because almost every time I've heard this nickname, it's a bald dude. Cue ball.
That's true.
It's
okay.
true.
All right, because
this used to not have hair on it.
Oh!
Oh.
Dead rights. Bald.
Love it.
Yes.
Love it.
So at the same time,
I didn't find any pictures of you bald.
He didn't deep enough.
Yeah, I didn't go back far enough, I guess. Yeah.
Dude, I feel like there's a There's like a Seinfeld episode when George got the toupee. He goes, "I was bald." She's like, "You are bald."
So funny,
Yeah.
dude. I never would have guessed.
Yeah, you still got hair, but you just decided to go bald.
Yes.
Okay.
It's easier to maintain.
I love it, dude. Totally. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
why he does it.
Yep, 100%. 100%.
Yeah.
I thought.
Yeah, so at the same time that I was shaving my head, I was in pool leagues.
That's what
I used to shoot.
I was wondering, man. That's what I said
So
to
I
Joel.
used to shoot pool
That was his
for
guess.
the APA, and I used to shave my head.
Yeah,
So
dude.
people just started calling me cue ball.
Right on.
So then and this is also in the beginning days of DJing, as I used to actually run karaoke shows.
Oh, okay.
So singing guitar and also singing there, everyone called me Cue Ball at the bars. So it just stayed on for a while.
Cue ball karaoke.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
sounds
So,
good.
but it's funny because a lot of people, when it comes to the pool or the baldness, they call them cue ball, CUE, like a cue ball.
Right.
But me, it was the letter Q, ball, cue ball,
Oh, okay.
to have a different.
Yeah.
I didn't create it. Someone
Right.
else made it for me.
Those are the only kind of
You know?
nicknames that work.
Yeah. And I'm like, whatever.
But-
But listen, I can't get these people to keep DJ Dan. It's an alliteration. I'm a DJ and my name is Dan, and they still can't get that sometimes.
Dude, he's like the Wu-Tang Clan.
So funny.
His name is Dan, a.k.a. DJ Dan, a.k.a. Cue Ball.
There's probably other AKAs, but he didn't dig deep enough. Version 2 coming to. Part 2 coming soon.
Wait, but while we're at it, do you shampoo at all?
Do I shampoo?
No.
Not at all.
No homo. No homo. No, I mean that.
Dude, that's yeah, okay, so here's how this works.
All natural,
And then my second question, do you shampoo here?
Okay, I got you. All right, so you got the first answer is it depends. Because I tend to let it go and then I get it shaved dramatically.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So at this phase,
Yeah.
no shampoo.
No shampoo.
Soap on the head.
soap, yes.
Soap on the head.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
body wash.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, see?
Body wash,
Yeah.
exactly.
Okay.
And then
Part of, yeah.
and then if
Thanks, Dan.
when it
I
gets
got it.
For a good reenactment. though.
Do you mean to do a little bit more?
He even made the squish sound as if I was like, Joel, where'd we lose you?
Because I had to go to that extra level. I'm just saying. That's what I do.
Can't lose if you never had him. Alan, let's just talk here. Forget Joel's over there. What time's Ronan coming back?
Might be in a few minutes.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, it's so funny.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, but when my hair gets to your level, although I'm more bald, right, it's like I'm bald here.
Yeah,
but it'll look kind of like yours in the front.
Yeah.
Then the shampoo kicks. So I have a dude, it's so funny because I have for some reason.
Yeah.
I got a thing of Head and Shoulders that's like this big.
Yeah.
And I've had it for like 6 years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I'll shampoo for a week or two, shave my head, not use it for a month, start using it for another week or two, shave my head. But then the beard though, I used to just use the body wash on the beard.
Yeah.
But then
There's so much new stuff to use.
yeah.
All this,
There's like specific beard wash, and it's real, like it's almost like using conditioner on your beard, so it's
Right.
very soft and fluffy, ladies.
Hello.
Things just got a little weird.
Yeah. A lot weird.
I got so much material for Tuesday, guys.
Exactly.
Man, I gotta come. I'm gonna
Yeah.
have to be a fly
And
on
then
the
how
wall.
about there? Here.
Here?
Yeah.
Oh, that's I use this stuff it's a beard wash, I think they call it, where it's like conditioner for your face.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. If you felt like if the ladies feel it with and without, you notice it big time.
Hello.
Yeah, feel free to.
Well, no, someone gave it a tug one night.
Yes.
And
was
we'll
real?
Yeah.
well. Yeah.
Is this real?
Yeah.
Ow!
But there was a bit of a little dialogue back
I
and
forget.
forth.
Do you remember?
Yeah, okay. I don't want to
Because
steal
I've
your
had it
thunder.
tugged a few times.
Wow. Wow.
Whoa.
Maybe there won't be a part 2.
But despite our daylight, this is Alan Hill After Hours.
He needs the blackout curtains.
She goes, "Oh, do you like that?" And you go, "You don't see me flinching, do you?" I'm paraphrasing, but
You're pretty much right on now that I remember now you said it. Oh, it's great. I forgot
I think there
about
was
that
some
one.
direct eye contact.
Did you get some digits?
I don't think I did, actually.
Maybe.
Yeah,
No,
that
no,
was
I
just a
didn't.
friend request.
We're totally, man, totally. Yeah,
Friend
we're
zone.
Facebook friends now.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And then the last question was the opposing.
Oh
team.
yes. So I found a picture of you, and I also saw that you do a lot of you've had some Eagles events, specific Eagles events, right?
Okay.
So I was wondering if you were your Packers jerseys there.
No, see, when it's DJ Dan, he is always a fan of the home team.
Because you're a very smart man.
So you line dance out in Green Bay?
Never been to Green Bay.
Oh, but you just had a jersey.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I do
Oh.
have a jersey. Yep.
You're just a fan of Aaron, or?
No, actually, when I started getting into the football, liking and watching football, that was when Favre first started out.
Oh, okay.
So as a young boy,
Yeah.
wanted to be a quarterback like every young boy.
Yeah.
You want to be like the best quarterback out there. In 1995, it was
Brett Favre.
Brett Favre,
Who was
yeah.
more fun to watch than Brett Favre?
Exactly. He's slinging things around.
He's
making
smacking guys on the
scores,
ass.
you know,
I mean,
whatever else. He's showing his little Twinkie to girls. It's crazy, you know. That was years later. Okay,
Yeah,
that's fine.
we didn't find that out till
You know what I mean?
later.
So,
Yeah,
and, like,
that was in
realistically-
Minnesota.
Right. So when I was growing up, I was like,
Trying to keep
God.
he was trying to keep his winky woo warm.
Yeah. Then he went back to New York and he's met Donald Trump. Oh, man. Yeah, so that's really how I got to be a Packers fan. You know, and then
It's
of course,
that's
after
totally
that
understandable.
started, I started like reading into Green Bay and how their team started
And the community ownership.
The community fanned how they bought the team out because it was going to go under.
It's
back in the
pretty
day.
cool,
and it's
man.
really awesome. You know, and then I thought to myself, I'm like, why do we have the only team that has the best history and the most championships?
Right, pre Super Bowl, but they count.
Right, most championships out of any organization.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And Reggie White, great Bart Starr, Lombardi. That's who the trophy's named after. Like
Yeah,
all
man.
this great history.
Yep.
And I'm like, this has got to be one of the best teams to be a fan of. So I just stayed a fan.
Well, listen,
And then post Brett Favre was Aaron Rodgers,
Yeah.
crazy guy, and he was
one of the best quarterbacks of all time to another one of the best quarterbacks of all time.
Exactly.
And I respect this because the community-owned aspect of the Packers is one of the coolest things in professional sports.
Right.
It's not some billionaire who may or may not give a flying F about anything going on in the community. It's the actual community. Like, that is
And
unique.
it's not to say that it's not like I'm a Cowboys fan who hates the Eagles. I don't hate the Eagles.
Right.
There's a lot of great Eagles players that I've met over the years
Mm-hmm.
at different events. And one of my favorite, and my all-time favorite Eagle, which I don't know how they let him go, is Brian Dawkins.
Oh, I love him.
I had the opportunity to meet Brian
Yesterday,
Dawkins.
both of us
at
were wearing a Dawkins jersey.
yeah, and I love the Dawkins, and I tell my girlfriend because she's a huge Eagles fan, and I was like, listen, I love Brian Dawkins. Back in the day when I had the whole Christian DJ thing, we had a tent revival,
Oh, and Dawkins.
and Brian Dawkins spoke at that revival.
Oh, I bet that was
So I had a
incredible.
chance to meet him, and he's like, hey, how you doing, man? I was like, good. How you doing? My name is Dan. He's like, oh, you can call me B-Doc. I'm like, oh, what's up? He was too cool, dude, right? And I was like, yeah, great. Dude is shorter than me.
Get out.
Yeah, he's not a tall dude.
And he's such a beast on the
He's
field.
like 5'8", 5'9". I was 5'10" at the time. Now I'm shorter because I'm getting old.
Yeah,
But
understood.
You know, and he's the coolest dude. You know, real good heart. You know, for Jesus and God and all that. You know, and he's such a great guy. You
Yeah.
know, and he's like, oh man, he's like, really appreciate you. He's like, you got yourself your Brian Dawkins jersey ready for this weekend? I said, I'm a Green Bay Packers fan actually, and Brian Dawkins had to get me back, right?
Oh, but what did he
and this is
do?
what he said. He goes, Packers, huh? He goes, you know, I love it when Brett Favre overthrows and I pick him off.
Oh, and I remember that exact play. Doc, I love it.
Oh.
Doc, you're the man.
And I said
another deep cut.
And I said, you're my favorite Eagle, dude. He's like, you're the greatest. I think you're awesome.
That is super cool.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
super cool.
I love that.
I think that's awesome.
And the thing is, I think he was going to say that if I had a Dawkins jersey,
Yeah.
he would have signed it.
Oh,
He
man.
signed a lot of things.
Wow.
Dude,
Wow.
I met him at Valley Forge Casino one of the last times I was there.
Was it really him?
It was really him. Yes, it was really
We
him.
had a Jalen Hurts incident.
Yeah.
Yes, I heard about
Oh,
that.
my
He told
gosh,
me that.
yeah.
He's like, dude, I was getting a haircut or my kid or whatever.
Yeah.
or
My nephew.
kid.
Yeah.
A kid, not his kid.
Yeah.
Sorry, not
No.
yours, Lori.
No.
But yeah.
Oh boy.
There's another one.
Yeah. Wait.
Met Brian Dawkins.
Yeah, no,
Dawkins.
Matt, and nicest guy in the world, man.
Cool.
Yeah, just like the nicest.
I mean, he seems like the coolest cat ever. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, you
Yeah.
know, and a
Doesn't
passionate
have to be.
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so we had our Halloween party here, our celebration. It was 1 year since we took over here at SunnyBrook, and Jewel, bartender, had an idea. She was like, "Why don't you just be Alan Hill?"
Yeah.
Because I had no idea. So I went and go to get an Eagles jersey. I'm showing the guy at the rally house. I go, "I need this style jersey because that's what he always wears." And he goes, "Got you, man." So I go, "Jason Kelsey, let's do it." You know what I mean? I'll do Jason Kelsey. They only had triple X. So I go, "That's too big, man. I'm going to be swimming in it." So
Well, you have to get the stuffing to match the.
yeah. He's slimming down, lost 40 pounds.
I was gonna say he did look skinny.
Yeah.
I didn't want to be like, oh my God, you're losing weight, and then he
Yep.
tells me like he's got cancer or something. You know, I felt bad. You know what I mean? It's like, sorry, I guess.
Yada yada yada. No shampoo.
Body wash.
Yeah.
Head
Yeah,
and shoulders to waist.
Yeah. One thing's leading to another, and it's all adding up.
He was using shampoo, but it was full body.
Yeah.
You know, for volume. And he couldn't do that anymore.
Do a lot of chest
So
hair.
I I end up buying Brian Dawkins and show up to surprise him, and he's wearing a Brian Dawkins jersey. Like, what are the odds? I could have wore, and there was 10 jerseys there.
Yeah, and I literally have like 35 jerseys, so I could have picked any one of them. Yeah.
Right. So
what's a jersey that you don't have of the current regime that you want?
Okay, so I just got 2 new ones. So I covered Jalen Carter, the rookie defensive tackle, and I finally got Lane Johnson, who I've wanted for a long time. Nice. But now I would say maybe, like, DeAndre Swift is tempting, but I think he's gone after this year. They don't give money to running backs, so if I thought he was going to be here for a few years, I would get him, but I don't think that's going to happen. So
Jake Elliott.
That's hilarious. Who doesn't want a kicker?
That'd be great. Everyone would be like, "Whose number is that?"
You know what's funny?
Yeah.
Because I actually considered getting David Akers back in the day.
Listen, Akers was the man.
Akers was a man. He would tackle people. He made field goals with torn
he had
hamstrings.
More tackles than some of the defensive players had.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. No, he was a badass.
10
really
seasons?
Was.
How long was he there?
A long time,
Had to
dude.
have been,
I
right?
mean, it was a minimum of 10. Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
but you still didn't get his jersey.
No. Well, dude, I don't think I've ever seen anybody with a kicker jersey. Somebody out there probably has it, but I
But if anybody would have it, it's you.
For sure.
The
But
odds are in your favor.
There's a whole
Out of
roster that I'm going to
35
get to before you get
jerseys,
to
no kickers.
No kickers.
How about a punter?
No chance.
Yeah.
Backup quarterback.
Yeah.
Well, I do have Jalen Hurts' number 2 jersey that I got his rookie season because I believed in that guy when he was drafted, unlike most people out there that like him now.
Ooh, wow. Gainwell?
Kenny Gainwell, yeah, but again, most of Eagles running backs are going after the first contract, so it's a little dicey. I would
As long
probably
as you don't have an Ndamukong Suh Eagles jersey, we're okay.
No. You know who I would get? You know who I would get that I don't have?
You know that, right?
Yeah.
I can't mess
Oh,
with
you
that.
can't. Yeah,
I can't
Packers
mess with
Lions,
that.
right? That's like Eagles Cowboys.
Yeah, he was a dirty player. Sue was. When
Oh, he
Marcus
stepped on
Detroit-
people's faces.
Oh, yeah, but I was saying he never played for the Eagles. You're just saying,
He
like.
did he was on the
did.
Super Bowl team, or was it the Super
played
Bowl
one
team?
season, yeah.
He played one season.
Oh.
Yep.
That last year.
It wasn't it was when they went to the Super Bowl. Now I'm blanking, but he played
that was
one
last
season.
year.
Wasn't it just last year?
Yeah, that was last year.
Okay, yeah, that.
Yeah, against the Chiefs. Yeah.
The Super Bowl loss made it seem like it's 14 years ago.
Oh, wow.
But I'll
Okay.
tell you know who I would get? Jordan Mailata, the left tackle who was a rugby player in Australia.
Oh, yeah, he's huge.
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
There's a lot of big guys on the Eagles.
Yeah, they have some. Jordan Davis would be another consideration. Speaking of big guys,
Well, I told him to prepare any funny stories he might have over the years that have happened in line dancing, and you said you had no shortage of them. So anything that's funny that's happened that would only happen to you, or maybe you didn't ever expect it, or a
SunnyBrook story that I didn't expect.
I mean, it could be here or
Okay.
somewhere else.
Sure. Let's go. Let's talk about the night, the big night. of
oh, what a
SunnyBrook.
night!
The big night.
200 people.
Over 200 people.
Ooh, boy!
November 19th.
Okay.
It was the Tuesday before.
Oh, he's setting the scene. Yeah, because the Tuesday before Thanksgiving, it was our biggest night.
Tuesday night.
Which was unexpected.
degrees.
Even and what's funny is our biggest regulars or our most regulars are our biggest fans. They'll come over and ask me the tally on how many, and it's not like it's not a financial thing. They love to see a packed place. I think everybody wants to see a winning team, so they just want to see what the
That's
number.
so cool.
But it's
That's
so
so
hard.
cool.
It's so hard here, because like I look out, week after week, and usually what I try to do is I try to see how full the tables are, because I know how many seats he puts out on a weekly basis.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I try to gauge it by that. But even then, it's so hard to judge in such a big
room,
space,
yeah.
just how many people there really is.
For sure.
You know what I mean? Even like think of like your biggest night for comedy in the ballroom.
Right.
You had, like, over 1,000 to one night.
Yeah.
But even still, you took a picture, and it didn't look like 1,000 people.
Right.
It's
With
wild.
all those seats.
It's
like-
such a
like,
big room, man.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just like
You can have 150 people in there, and it feels like they're you would never guess it maybe.
yeah. So even on that night, like the dance room was full, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But you're talking about having lines 5 feet apart from each other, 4 lines back, going all the way to the bar and to the stage.
Mm-hmm.
It does seem big.
Yeah.
But then it's like, well, how many do we have tonight? You know, and that's how that goes. And of course he's like, dude, I think we're over 200. And I was like, no way. I was like, there's no way, because it looks not that dissimilar from what we've had a few weeks ago. 160, 150, whatever the case is.
Yeah.
You know, and he's like, dude, he's like, it's 202. He's like, unless I miss people, he's like,
Yeah.
that's where we're at. I was like, oh my gosh, it's amazing. I was like, we can only keep going up from there. But it's really crazy because it's like that's the best night we've had.
Yeah.
Over a year.
So
Yeah.
cool.
Which, in a way, you're like, oh yeah, we want to get more. You know, because there's always new people coming all the time.
Sure.
But realistically, trying to teach 200 people how to do a lesson
Woo.
from one person.
It's a task.
You can't. It's literally like you're sitting there and we had that filing cabinet in front of you and we want you to tell me what's written on that wall.
Yeah, it's
you
wild.
can't.
Yeah.
There's
No.
so many people.
Yeah.
You know, and that's another thing that I always get is that it's like, oh, we can't see you. You should do it on the stage. I'm like, you're right. I could do it on the stage and stand there, but guess what? The people that are back by the bar, they ain't gonna see
They're gonna
me.
get
Yeah.
So
You can't make everybody happy
Nah,
no
you
matter
can
what.
never- Yeah.
right.
Yep.
So it's nice to have that number dancing wise that know what they're doing.
Yeah.
And even that night, I remember there was a lot of the regulars that weren't there.
Oh wow.
So if we had all of the regulars that we normally would have on a Tuesday night, because there are other dance events, that's line dance events that happen every single night of the week.
Just life.
right.
Yeah.
They don't always
Yeah.
come.
And so it's like yeah, we could have had probably 225, 250.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And so when
That's
I
amazing, man.
so
That's really cool.
I'm trying to remember when we did the first workshop. When that
It was February.
February, yeah. So we were getting a lot of good numbers, and I said, hey man, let's try to do an all day workshop where you come in and you learn harder dances.
Oh, cool.
You know what I mean? So the people that have been wanting to learn since
Intense
September.
workshop, like
Yes.
4 or 5
All the
hours.
people
Right.
putting in
Yeah,
work
so we
and
started
take it to the
at
next
2 o'clock
level.
that day.
Yeah.
And we did lessons for I think 5 hours. I think
Yeah,
it was.
yep.
Then we had a buffet dinner.
Wow.
And then we had a night dance.
Oh, that's
So
cool.
that day went from for me from noon until midnight.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it was really intense, and it wasn't like beginner dancers.
Yeah, yeah.
And I told people that I said, listen, this is going to be your next level.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like learning how to do hammer-ons and tap-offs, and
Yep.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Bend
we're
in.
improvising
Yeah.
solos now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's get to a workshop where you're actually going to learn that next level stuff.
Yeah.
And nothing we taught that day. And there's essentially there's 5 levels of dance. There's beginner, and there's like improver, intermediate, advanced. And so it's like oh okay, this is like 3 out of
Okay.
5.
Okay.
3 and higher.
Yeah.
And so I had a friend of mine who does a lot of partner dancing.
Mhm.
And so we choreograph partner dancing, kind of like the country's 2-step, but a little bit more intense. It's pretty
Right.
much just line dancing with a partner.
Okay.
And you do it in a circle around the outside. So you
Okay.
may have seen people going around stomping and doing their things.
Yeah.
We do on a weekly basis.
Very
and I
cool.
said, let's teach some more challenging dances. I was like, you do 3, I do 3. You get your people to come. I'll get my people to come.
Mhm.
And I told Joel, I said, listen, we want to cap it out. I think 150, right?
Right,
Is that what I
yep.
said?
Yeah.
I said we got to cap it at 150 because we get more than 150 people in here. It's going to be hard
Right.
to try and teach. Well, it's going to be hard to teach anything, but even harder dances is going to be really hard to teach.
Yeah.
Because then we're teaching 75 couples, partners at a time, 75 groups, and so we're getting close to the day, and I was like, hey man, what's our number at? And he's like, I think we're at 148. So the day of, I get here, and Joe goes, Dan, I think we went over. I think I said.
That's
And
not
I
the
said-
first nor the last
and I
time
said-
I'll ever say that.
And I said, Joel, there was a reason why I wanted to keep it at that number so that everyone can see, everyone can learn.
Who loves ya?
So
Yeah, whoops a diddly daisy.
So when he said
boy, you
tell a
might say.
story, he didn't realize it was going to be me throwing him under the bus. But that's
I love
it's
it.
Yeah, watch
dude.
your head.
I love it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like, we had good numbers that day. So we had that 100 and whatever it was for the workshop part of the day. And then we had people who were just coming at night, either for the food and the night dance,
Man.
or just the night dance without the food.
Right.
So we had another, say, 40-ish,
Yeah.
whatever. So we had close to 200 people
That's amazing.
that day, and I don't know the exact number, but I mean it was thousands of dollars that we brought in.
Yeah, that's
Between
beautiful, man.
between
That's
the learn the thing in and that, and then the food, and then the bar, and just everything, and it was a really great night.
Oh, yeah, it was
So,
great.
That's amazing.
We had
wow.
And we
That's
still
really
do
cool.
some of the dances that we taught there, which is
Yeah.
what you want.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And it's like I tell people every week, it's like I'm teaching new stuff every 2 weeks or whatever it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like, listen, if you guys can keep 1 or 2 a month, I guess that's good because it's just so much.
Yeah, it's
You
all,
could
I mean,
retain-
Yeah,
500,000.
it's just so much.
Well,
what I mean?
I even asked Teddy. I said, who he's.
Oh, you mentioned him.
Yeah, he's always out on the dance floor, and I go, you never mess up. He goes, oh, I mess up a lot.
Yep.
He goes, but the truth is, you just got to keep going.
Ah.
So I don't know he messed up. He knows he messed up. He just keep going.
That's the same thing applies
Yeah.
in music and comedy, man.
Yeah, but and what he showed me is there's sometimes Dan will teach and then all of a sudden you'll clap. Well, I focused on that. He goes, stop focusing on the clapping. Focus on what your feet's doing.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, but I got this part down.
Yeah.
My feet aren't just right. Is that?
He's like, I can clap.
Yeah.
I've been doing that for comedies for years.
Yeah. No, it was the cricket noise you were making. I've nailed that part.
Yeah. Like,
Mastered it. Oh yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So funny,
those,
man.
Yeah, so those are two of the, I guess, the best stories. Really, it was just two of the best nights, you know. And it's so funny because we originally talked about how we wanted, say, 40, 50, 60 people, you know, and then over the last year, you know, I think our average has been 150.
Wow.
Over the course of it all, because it just picks up.
Super cool.
You know.
Wow.
And it's like right now we're kind of in that slower zone because the time of the year it is, you know. But then like when November kicks up, just like it did last year, I expect that there's going to be a lot more people coming out because the weather gets cooler and whatever it is, you know, and that's just the way it flows through.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And kind of carry through until spring, and then summer it dies down again because it's summertime shit. You know.
Right.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
But if there's one last thing that I can say, is that it's been about 5.5 years now I've been doing line dancing, and so that's it. So you still have time, Alan. Right? But honestly, like if I can say anything, is that this one thing is that all the venues, all the places I've been, bars and honky tonks and ballrooms and all over the place, and there's nobody that does it better than this guy. This guy is
thanks,
the
man.
best promoter I've ever seen. You know, he hired drone video guys to come in here and photographers and other kind of videographers and stuff, and just keeps putting money into it to just keep on promoting it. And just last week, what did you say to me? You said we need to start taking videos again.
Yeah.
That's exactly what he just said.
Yeah.
You know,
it's not about the money. It's about reinvesting and keep it fresh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I mean, unfortunately, you do see the same videos that we do post.
Yeah.
Have been used a few times.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
Sure.
You know,
Yeah.
There's only so many videos that we end up taking of SunnyBrook.
Yeah.
You know, and it's hard to because a lot of times I'm not thinking, oh, let me grab my phone, get on the stage, and take a video. I'm like, cool, I have this lesson, I have to review this, I'm gonna play this, I have these requests. So yeah, by the way, I have to go to the bathroom and I need a drink of water.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep. Totally.
So,
100%.
Yeah.
and that just comes down to what he said earlier with me being the guy that does it all, because there is, oh, you DJ? Okay, cool. Well, do you have a guy who teaches? Yeah, it's me. Oh, okay. Do you have? Oh, it's me. Oh, it's me.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
But it's a partnership too, man. We you know, no one does it better than you, and you're my guy, always loyalty, and you don't.
That's a funny story too.
Yeah. We always got to keep it loyal. Yeah, and there's other people that have hit us up,
Yes.
both mutually, and like, hey, man. Guy goes, you know, I used to he goes, I used to work in the area, and I go, oh great. He goes, but I can line dance DJ. I go, now we're all set. He goes, I can also salsa and bachata. I go, we're all set there. He goes, do you need a dishwasher?
I swear.
That dude was trying to get his foot in the door.
Oh, what a trip.
Yeah.
I was like,
And then he came and introduced himself. Like not
So he
even
tell- so he
a
told
not
me
even
the
a
story
wolf
on
in sheep's
Tuesday.
clothing. He was just a wolf.
that Saturday I had a Saturday event that we do once in
Yeah,
a while.
yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
and It's hard now with all the scheduling, but and then he actually came out, and as soon as he told me who it was, I looked the guy up on Facebook, and I know of him, like you know of people, like I'm sure. And I don't know that, but I'm sure Joel knows other comedy guys who host events.
Yeah.
I'm sure. Of
Yeah,
course. You could say, Dan, I'll give you
Some of
$1
them have
million
been mentioned on this
five.
podcast.
Yeah.
I have no idea. This is not my realm of thing. And just like with Joel, you know, I tell him, I was like, oh yeah, blah blah blah, this guy or this company or that, and he's like, oh, and he's like doing the I kind of understand nod, but he doesn't know them.
Yeah.
It's the same kind of thing.
Dig it.
Yeah.
You know? And it's so funny because I look at this guy on Facebook, and then he ends up coming out, and I'm like, and I'm looking at him, and I'm like, okay, and I end up teaching my dances and whatever, and he's over there with his little tablet.
Which is hilarious.
Dude.
Writing
Taking
down
notes.
everything.
Is his name Carlos Mencia?
No.
Yeah.
So he's writing it all down and everything, and I see him over there, and I'm like, all right, whatever. He walks in front of me, looks over at me, walks over to see some other people he knows, because unfortunately in this line dancing world, a lot of people
There's
know a lot
crossover,
of
yeah.
people.
Yeah.
That's just the way it is.
Yep.
You know, and I'm like, all right, whatever, because some of our people do end up coming from his area, I'll say.
Yeah.
You know, and so like an hour later into the show, he ends up coming up to me, and he's like, oh, I just wanted to introduce myself. My name is, and I said, oh yeah, I said, how you doing, man? And I'm doing good, you know, whatever.
Right.
And I'll always be nice, you know what I mean? But don't try and be dirty behind me.
Absolutely.
Because I'm that guy who will say something, and I really don't care what you think.
Yep. Love
You
it.
know? And so he goes, oh yeah, you know, I do this in this county and whatever. And I said, okay. I said, you can stay in that county. I got it. I got this county. I'm good.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
Exactly what I said.
Love it. How did he?
And I told Joel, and Joel, just like that,
Eyebrows
I was
up.
like,
Yeah.
and I said,
We got this covered. Yeah.
Dude, that's awesome. I
I'm
love
not,
that.
And I'm not trying to be a dick about
No,
it.
No. It was territorial.
You know,
I
and
get
that's-
it.
And the thing is that I have never, ever once, since owning DJ Dan Line Days, I have never once gone after a place.
Rolled into one of his events and started taking notes and talking and chatting.
I've never gone to a place at all.
Yeah.
I didn't need to.
Right.
Everything that I have now is all from hearsay. From people who come and dance and say, oh, you need to come here, or they contact me.
Yep.
I never once had to contact any place and say, do you want line dancing?
Yeah.
No, they come to me. That's why I've been so busy, Alan. It's been like that.
Even the competition comes to you,
It's
apparently.
great. Yeah.
No, you're not wrong.
Not wrong, because there are other DJs and instructors that
yeah.
do come to my events. Like,
Yeah. But that's to support you.
Yes, they are. I have a lot of great friends.
They're not hiding. They're not taking notes.
No, Heidi is not hiding.
Well, no.
We love Heidi.
And also,
she taught for us and
Keith.
stuff like that. Keith, yes.
Yeah,
definitely.
because he obviously you're thinking like if he does the all day instruction, he's alternating with other instructors so that he takes a break. So like, he can't
It's
speak
such
for
a long
Oh, dude, yeah.
5 hours.
That'd be crazy.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's a long day.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, and the thing is, like, I even go, like, even when on my off days that I say,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
the Thursdays and whatever.
Yeah.
If I have
A rare
random-
Sunday. Yeah.
Like, I'll go to these other people's events, but I don't go as DJ Dan. Like, I'll go and just say, hey, how you doing? How things going? You know, and I might ask the instructors or the DJs, hey, what are you playing that's new and fresh? You know,
Yeah.
like this is what I've been doing, and the thing is, since I post everything on my socials,
Yeah.
you know what I mean. So I do my Facebooks and the Instagrams and all that stuff, and countless
Did you
times,
check, make sure it's
people are
okay,
always
and-
like, oh, Dan, I see all these dances you're doing, and I steal them because they're so much fun. And I'm like, I'm sure you do. Everyone steals something. Just
Right.
like Ronan was going to steal my comedy lines
Yeah.
from Tuesday night. Sorry,
Yeah.
Ronan.
Yeah.
So if you hear a good joke from Ronan, it was DJ Dan's first.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
You know
I
what I
love
mean?
it. Yeah,
And that's
totally,
just-
man.
that's just the way it
That's
is.
just the way it goes. Yeah, bands play the same songs all over the place.
They want to hear the hits.
Yeah.
Free bird.
Every cover band does Uptown Funk. Like,
Yeah.
let's be real with it. Like,
Exactly.
that's the way it is.
Totally,
Yeah.
man. Totally. Yep,
But
yep.
So each and every Tuesday, come out at 6:30 for the lessons. Yeah, well, beginner lessons 6:30 to 7, and then we have 2 other dances that we teach from 7 to 8. What? One.
Three total dances every week.
Right. I'll let you plug it. and then we're there open dancing until 10:30.
Yep.
It's only $10. You can buy the tickets online or in advance at the door. It doesn't matter.
You can find all the dances and all of my calendar stuff at djdanlinedance.com. You know, and you can practice at home with the dances. Alan's going to go home today and practice.
Oh,
Boot,
boy.
Scoot, and Boogie.
Watch out, people.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Probably just get used to it.
I already broke
Yeah.
one hip.
Exactly.
Yeah, we got great food here. Gatsby's is finally open, so
Yep.
they can come early and get food, and even get the food delivered to their table. in
Right
the
to your
ballroom.
table.
Yeah.
Boom.
Oh,
It's great
that
stuff, dude.
service, baby.
Little,
Yeah.
little flag with a number thing there.
Exactly.
Food's
so
amazing, we know.
for Alan Hill, DJ Dan, Soul Joel, we'll see you later, Cue Ball.